Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to be here with us tonight to share and teach today on the product. So, this is a training that every member needs to be involved with. This is a training that every member needs to do. And this is about unveiling our current crop of products. There will be product training again in the future. There will be a few, as we progress. As we have more products, we get more capsules, more specific products that do specific things, we're going to have more and more of these product descriptions. So this today is going to give us a general direction on what to expect from Rida. As you all know, this is a herbal supplement. And beyond being a herbal supplement, what we have done is we've partnered also with the university community to do research on the product and ensure that we can verify preclinically at least, and then ultimately clinically, a few of the testimonies that people have been sharing. So today I'm going to be unveiling this business that you can trust. I'm going to be explaining a variety of things about how this works and how we can all be able to share this convincingly with somebody else. First of all, I like to say that diseases are on the increase. All of us know this. 7.7 million people die of cardiovascular diseases every year. This is about the population of Lagos State. And this makes up to 31% of the global deaths. So you can imagine how disastrous cardiovascular diseases are. If you compare that to the number of people that Boko Haram killed in 2011, you know that this is a major number. Boko Haram and all the insurgencies that we shout about are small potatoes compared to what heart diseases cause every year. And I need to get this because what we're driving with Green Monday is really a cause. And I wish that everybody will have in mind that beyond the monies we make, we'll make money. Beyond the lifestyle opportunities we'll have to travel around the world, beyond the beautiful things we're going to do on the platform of this product, we are going to be driving a cause that allows many people to have good health, that allows many people to enjoy, live longer, allows many people to prevent diseases that could normally have been their cases. Many die of infections, COPD, diabetes, mellitus, cancer, and several other diseases. Research shows that 95% of the world's population lives with one ailment or the other, while 1/3 of the world population are experiencing more than 5 ailments at the same time. We live in a really sick world, ladies and gentlemen. So, and this is just laying a background for why it's important to find other alternatives, to find what can be done to solve this challenge of cardiovascular diseases, of infections, and all the ailments that people are battling with. Now, while scientists struggle to solve challenges of several incurable, partly curable diseases within our world, new ones are surfacing every new day. Okay, so today there are pathogens that we didn't know before that now exist, and they are resistant to existing medication. So you hear things like chloroquine-resistant malaria. You hear malaria. You hear different diseases that are resistant to different things. Okay, you have resistance. So we live in a world where there's some form of resistance to various things already going on. That's the kind of reality that we find ourselves in. So in that kind of world, what you really want to do is ensure that there are solutions. Environmental pollution is increasing. Diets are getting more unhealthy, and I'm sure everybody in this class today can testify to how diets are getting more unhealthy. Nature is being tampered with daily, so there's deforestation, there's ozone layer depletion, the rivers are rebelling, we're encroaching into water space. Nature is being tampered with daily. The impact of this on global health is huge, okay? And it is left only to our imaginations. And, you should be scared. And, we live in an environment where we can easily bury our heads in the sand and feel if I don't hear what's going on, it doesn't concern me. It's like that child who does peekaboo. She feels for as long as I close my eyes, nothing's happening around me. That's very infantile. If we pay attention to what's going on, we can see that hepatitis C came in 1989. West Nile virus was discovered in 1999, 10 years after. SARS became known in 2003, just 4 years after. Chikungunya came in 2005. Swine flu was noticed in 2009. MERS in 2012, Ebola came in 2014, and Zika in 2015. Diseases are on the rise. Scientists are anticipating some new diseases like leishmaniasis, Rift Valley fever, Oropauche, Mayaro, and Elizabeth Kinigia to emerge between this year and next. And some of these names sound ridiculous, but guess what? Depends on who discovers what, where it's found, it's named in various places. Diseases are on the rise. New diseases that were not previously predicted can also come in. So this doesn't put a curtain on what is possible. We also have somatic disorders. We have on the increase mental illnesses and cases of depression. Loss of sexual functions are also on the rise. Men are becoming impotent, and that early. Women are losing interest, and that early as well. Once again, I think you need to be. We need to, if you look at what's happening, really, we won't just close our eyes and pretend nothing is happening. It's getting bad out there. What's the solution to all of this? And this is where it begins to become interesting. Solution is orthodox medicine is actively searching into solutions. So regular farmer is looking out for what can we do, how can we combat this, how can we solve this. With every new medication comes several side effects. So I'm sure many of you know that, for example, it took us years to realize that one of the side effects of malaria was the destruction of male sexuality. There are drugs that get released to the market. It takes 10, 15, 20 years to discover what other damages it causes, because these are phytochemicals that have been taken out of their herbal mixtures and are on their own, and the things that should normally balance them, we get to discover side effects over a period of time. Now, the beautiful thing with herbals is with vegetables, if they have side effects, we've eaten them for 100 years. So, these are some of the things that you find with some of these medications. It comes to side effects. There are also so many diseases without any solution. So there are things today that, they don't even know anything about. So I was doing a Google search recently about this thing that is popular in Africa called ELA. ELA is a child skin disease that is called ISD or something interesting, immuno something deficiency in the West. And, they don't have any cure for it. They say maybe olive oil, maybe a drop, maybe antifungal, cream can help and those kind of things. But here in Africa, because it's something that's been with us for long, we have local herbs that we mix and use and have been efficient and effective for taking care of these things. So there are many diseases that have no solutions. And the question today is, what about herbal remedies? And this is the question I would like you to be able to ask and answer if you are involved in this at all. What about herbal remedies? Now, ancient man, if you can get a little bit of introduction, and I like to, skip to my loop and try and rush through this as quickly as I can. But ancient man depended on herbs for health in the beginning, and in the garden. The garden I'm talking about. Christians know is the Garden of Eden. I know Muslims also allude to the garden as well. Life started from somewhere. All that man had to stay healthy was food and herbs. That was all that man had to stay healthy with. Before the advent of technology, man survived by creating decoctions and concoctions of herbal poultices. Apothecaries and botanists were almost inseparable. This was the origin of how we had medicine, just how it all started. Orthodox medicine came from herbal extracts. Quinine comes from cinchona, artemisinin comes from artemisia, penicillin comes from penicillium. From time immemorial, the global flora and fauna have been the foundation of medications and drugs. Even though several medications have evolved through medicinal chemistry, functional group enhancements into synthetic formulations, some still remain in the original herbal forms. So essentially, we know that orthodox medicine came from herbs. For example, senna still exists as herbal leaves and is acceptable as a medication. Likewise, the age-old arachis oil, is still valued as medication as well. So we all know and quite agree that this is how these things came into being. I'd like to do a quick commercial pause. I hope you can still hear me. For the benefits of those who can't hear, I would like you to type in the window of chat that you can hear, so that those who can't hear can know that it's local, and then they can fix their volume and ensure that they can hear from where they are. So you can help me help them that way, so as we make progress. Okay, great. Now, Asia is unapologetic and is blazing the trails. I once met a lady recently who went to study pharmacy in China, and they had a 6-unit course dedicated to herbs. A 6-unit course dedicated to herbs to ensure that they can learn about herbs. They had to memorize about 150 different herbal solutions or herbal plants, memorize them, memorize their functions, memorize what they're used for, because Asia is not apologizing about realizing that it's about roots. So, of course, some of the Asian herbal solutions have gotten across to Nigeria as well. So, roots of Panax, ginseng, for example, have been found their way to the world as adjuncts to doctors' medicine and nutraceutical administration. Several other herbs like St. John's wort, valerian, and peppermint are also still in active use as adjuncts in pharmaceutical administration. Okay, maybe because they were used by Hippocrates. Yes, Hippocrates, the father of medicine, was a herbalist. Okay, and these are things that we all need to know. So when you're talking to people and they say no, they believe in orthodox medicine, understand that the origin of orthodox medicine was herbal medicine, and that the Asians are living long, have extensive lives, have life expectancy in the 80s and the 90s because they've not lost touch with their roots and the herbal mixtures that they grew up with. Now, while at an exciting time in history, so at this stage in history, the world is set for another unveiling of previously unknown medicinal activity, not from Europe, where Hippocrates hailed from, or from Americas, which was discovered by the Europeans, or from Asia, which is really the Jerusalem of commerce and innovation, but from a previously unknown part of the globe, an area untouched until the 12th century, a continent yet organic in the heights of industrialization and civilization, Africa, not just Africa, but sub-Saharan Africa. So in case you want to understand this, the beautiful thing about what's going on here is Africa still has most of its fauna and flora intact. Africa is still largely, the rainforest is still original. Industrialization was taking place around the world. Africa was not touched or discovered until the 12th century. So we still have our native herbs, and this is what is about to be unveiled to the world. So we're in a very interesting time where eyes are on Africa, particularly sub-Saharan Africa, because in the center of the new superfoods and medicinal herbs, this continent where cacao, which is for chocolates, originates, has yielded more to the world it has capacity to yield more to the world in health. Not damaging calories like artificial sugars, but previously unknown antioxidants that regenerate the whole body. So what Africa is contributing to the general space is something beautiful in the herbal space of making sure that antioxidants, strong antioxidants, very solid nutrients that are still in their natural states, they've not been destroyed by fertilizers, not been destroyed by many things we do to increase production and modify seeds and modify end results and genetically modify things. These are still very much in their raw natural state. It's amazing. So African flora, this is a proposition that somebody is putting up here and saying African flora is greater than antibiotics. And what exactly is this about? So anybody of evidence is evolving, solving health challenges previously unraveled for generations. Just like Cinchona created the victory over malaria and saved lives in generations, and penicillium created the victory over bacterial infections. This started the then new trend of medications called antibiotics. Today, it looks like we can't survive without antibiotics. The same way the solution to unresolved non-communicable diseases is evolving from sub-Saharan African fauna. And if you are like me, you are excited because not only are we going to bring solutions to Africa, we're going to bring solutions around the world. So, and so we said diseases are popping up, things are happening, it's getting crazy out there. So, what exactly do we want to be doing in these times? What we want to be doing in these times is staying alive while we seek to understand. So, while we're trying to understand what is possible, what can be used, what is the future, what will it be about, it is important to say, what, if we have something that is valuable and is working, why don't we begin to ride it? Okay, why don't we begin to enjoy it and utilize it? And that's why this antioxidant understanding becomes very vital. And I'd like us to spend a little time understanding this. So scientific evidence is growing that diabetes can be subdued, cancer can be prevented, not necessarily by attacking an organ, but by rejuvenating the cell and revolutionizing the whole organism. That's why some of these herbs are useful in several disease conditions. As of now, we'll stick with the word antioxidant to describe the solution because that's the best that science can explain. We believe we'll know more with time, but while we learn more, let's live and not die. So, of course, we know how the antioxidant property works. When the oxygen atoms leave, it becomes a radical, and that radical has the capacity to damage cells. What antioxidants do is that they donate back this oxygen ion or this ion, this negative ion, to ensure that the oxygen atom can retain its balance and can continue to function like the way it functions. This is something I've explained. I try to explain mechanically, but today we're doing product understanding, so it's important we get this. Now, scientific evidence is growing that most diseases can be traced to oxidative stress um, at the cellular level. The presence of free oxygen radicals at cellular levels can lead to gradual tissue and organ degeneration, becoming the source of many ailments. These ailments can then be corrected by stabilizing the body at cellular levels, and assistance by supplying needed electrons make the cell stable. Now, can we please put our system on mute so that we do not tamper or affect the communication? So just make sure that you're on mute. All we all need to do is listen, and then the sound will be clear, and our recording will be available for others to use. Somebody is humming. Somebody's system is humming there because their audios are up, and the person also is possibly coughing. So please put your system on mute so that we don't have to be distracted by looking for you. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, thank you. I think we have silence now. So essentially, as I was explaining, oxidative stress is something that is found at the root of many diseases. And if I can explain very quickly what exactly causes this oxidative stress, or how does this play out? Once oxygen is like the fuel for the blood. The blood is like a transport vehicle of the body. The blood is carrying food, glucose, from the stomach. The stomach digests the food, passes the food to the bloodstream. The bloodstream is a transport agent that carries the food around the body. Oxygen is required to fuel the blood. So you have oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. As blood is being carried around the body to deliver food across the cells, some of these oxygen atoms in the bloodstream lose some of their ions and become reactive species. As reactive species, they can damage cells. And of course, cells make up tissues make up organs make up systems, and the systems make up the body. Now, in this damage that occurs at the cellular levels, translates to tissues, translates to organ degeneration, it becomes a source of many ailments. Because if the tissues that are being damaged are in the heart, you are susceptible to heart attack, to stroke, to high blood pressure, to atherosclerosis, to angina. If it's around the kidney, you're susceptible to chronic kidney disease, renal nephritis, etc. If it's at the skin level, you're susceptible to eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis, and cancer. If it's multi-organ, and I like to explain the multi-organ one with diabetes, because once the cells are damaged, one of the things that can be damaged is the communication ability. So the cells are no longer asking for glucose, and if the cells are not demanding for glucose around the particular organs, it means the blood continues to carry the glucose around the body. And that's what you have high blood sugar, which is how, for example, diabetes is described in many climes. If it's around the joints, you have arthritis. So people grow old and their joints begin to pain them. They have excruciating pain around the joints due to wear and tear of the body. This is oxidative stress. And in case you're wondering what exactly causes this oxidative stress, virtually everything. Living is the process of dying. Okay, we age by being alive, and the longer we are alive for, the more we age. So drinks, fast food, exercise, not enough exercise, the air we breathe, the fumes around, the toxicity around our environment, and everything we do basically causes this oxygen atoms carrying blood in our body to lose electrons and become reactive. And in this reactivity, we need antioxidants to mop up these things at cellular level. Once antioxidants are able to take care of this at cellular level, guess what? Once it's taking care of us at cellular level, people will begin to see different realizations depending on where in their body, or which cells and which tissues and which organs of their body has experienced this degeneration based on oxidative stress. And then it leads to a variety of solutions. That's a little bit about oxidative stress. So antioxidants and nitric oxide, what science currently understands. And this is the understanding of science. So science is a new, this is new for science. And this is a way for science to explain what is going on. Because sometimes you see somebody says, this product solves this problem. This product solves this problem. A scientist is someone who looks at all of that and says, how can we solve this? What can we do about this? Okay, that's what the scientist does. What can we do about this to ensure that we can solve this? So now we'll stick to the word antioxidants to describe solution because that's the best the science understands. And then while we're learning, let's live and not die. Okay, by ensuring that we're taking it. So read that all the way, no excuse. While we seek more insights, it's just humane to enjoy the solutions and overcome the illnesses. What about the safety of the plants? We eat herbs every day and we don't think about the safety, like spinach, lettuce, corn. They nourish our body. We eat superfood like moringa. We enjoy the effect. Why are we scared of the similar plants? How are we sure that they're safe? Africans have eaten them for thousands of years. What other reason? They've passed the basic safety tests. We've done toxicity tests. We've done brine shrimp tests. We've proven that they're non-toxic. We're currently doing cytotoxicity. Somebody's helping us examine cytotoxicity to find out the genetic values for this over the next 10, 50, 100 years. We also are doing all of those tests to say, look, this is herbs have been things we've always consumed in Africa. What other excuses do you have? We have doctors in the house who will tell you when things defy solution, we give them Rida and they come back with testimonies. Why die when you can live? So, of course, the idea is what other excuse you have to prevent your patient from living longer by enjoying the benefits of herbal supplements below. No excuse. So, there are two broad paradigms, and I want to quickly explain in the time that we have. There are two broad paradigms that demonstrate the efficacy of Rida. One paradigm is around the herbal constituents, and the other paradigm is at the antioxidant NO levels, what they call nitric oxide levels. So the antioxidant effect works by a variety of ways. One of the ways understood in science is the nitric oxide donations. So we're going to share these two paradigms, and I won't kid myself that I can do all of it today. If I'm able to do all of it today, fantastic. If I'm not able to do all of it today, that means this class is already broken into two, in which case we may be able to continue with maybe even before the next training, which will be Sunday. So, but let's take a stab at it. It's just so that you get a general idea of what this is about. And then I won't do too much of looking at the slides because you can also go through the slides yourself and understand how it works. Now, in the concept of Rida, Rida has 5 key components. We have Ontaria umbellata, we have Senna alata, we have Uveria chamae, we have Cogulico pilosa, and we have Colocytus citrulus, or Citrulus colocytus. Now, don't mind, it sounds botanical. I did a little biology while I was growing up, but that's not what this is about. If you are interested in something, it fills you with excitement and passion to study it and find out more. And this is something anybody can do. You can simply take this herbal constituent, go online to Google and type uses of Ontaria umbellata, and everything I'm sharing with you today can be verified. Okay, that's because people have done research on this. We are doing research on this. We have partnerships to do research on this. And there's a body of learning that is available out there in journals on each of these herbal elements. Of course, the beauty of Rida is it's not just one of these herbs, it's combined in very exciting ways that allows it to be preserved, that allows the nutrient value to be preserved, and allows it to be able to serve all of us. Now, what exactly is the history with Ontaria umbellata? Ontaria umbellata, or abere in Yoruba language, is a tree that grows in West Africa, and the leaves, fruits have been of great health benefits. Okay, it's great for immunity boosting. It has strong anti-malaria properties, so it's an effective remedy for malaria. In recent studies that shown great ability to lower cholesterol, especially LDL cholesterol, within a few doses of usage. It also lowers blood sugar levels, thus helping those with diabetes, and can help with weight loss and obesity as well. Studies show that it has very good weight loss capabilities. This is just Ontaria umbellata. There are about 4 pages dedicated to it, so happy viewing. Like I said, I will not pick everything. I'll just take a little bit of a stab here and there so that I can cover as much ground as possible. But you can see, for example, that just Ontaria umbellata alone, okay, has so much value. And of course, you can see the flowers and the leaves. What we use for Rida is the backs, the roots, the natural, unaffected, unclustered part of it is where the values are gotten from. So Ontario umbellata has been used for regulating, blood pressure. It inhibits the risk of high blood pressure. It contains lots of great plant steroids and also saponins that are important for great health. Okay, it is a great antibacterial agent and works wonders for skin infections. It can be taken in and it can be used topically. And of course, it be used for leprosy, ulcers, as well as staphylococcus and E. coli infections. It's a great inflammatory agent. This is one of the things we also check with Rida. In the experiments that were conducted by the university community, one of the strong areas for Rida was in pain and as an anti-inflammatory agent. Okay, so it's good for arthritis, inflammatory diseases because it blocks the prostaglandins and histamine release. The roots of the trees have been used by women who have an absence of monthly periods, so it works well for amenorrhea. We've had plenty of testimonies relating to amenorrhea. I'm sure people in the house can bear me witness. I think we can use the chat windows there to basically, if you have a testimony in any of the things we are sharing, you can just add that testimony there, because somebody who is here listening to this can begin to see, okay, wow, so this is what this does. Because your own testimonies and the testimonies of the people that you know can add credence to what I'm sharing. Okay, so for anterior umbellata, the roots and back are also effective in relieving women with cases of heavy menstrual flow. Okay, it's powerful in assisting for intestinal worms. It prevents ascaris. It triggers liver functions and strengthens it. Thus, it's a beneficial remedy for liver diseases. Studies in mice have shown that it's great for reducing fevers and pains. Studies are also being done on anterior umbellata to confirm its effectiveness with HIV, AIDS, and malaria, and also good for boosting the immunity, the immune system, because it's because of its powerful antioxidant abilities. Okay, so that's not all, So can somebody is putting on their speaker there? Can you please mute? Hello. Can you please mute Elder Tunde Yusuf? Can you mute your system so that we don't need to hear you? Thank you very much. God bless. Biodunolo, please mute as well. Good. Let's all try to mute. There's a place where you can listen, where you can hear, and there's a place where you can speak. It will be good we mute so that we don't need to hear. You listen so that it doesn't interfere. If I mute you more than twice, I will have no choice but to remove you. Please. Thank you very much. The reason why audio is not clear is because other voices are colliding with it. Can you hear me clearly now? Okay, is it clear now? It should be clear now. If it's clear now, just say it's clear, and then I will proceed. Okay, so once this is clear. Thank you very much. Excellent, so we progress. Okay, so now this is beautiful. This is very beautiful. In Germany, it's been used for treating low libido for both men and women. So it has great aphrodisiac properties. Rida is the first herbal mix that I've seen that ladies are sharing testimonies and saying that more than ever before, they are really enjoying to have special time with their husbands. So it's helping to increase the libido, low libido for men as well as women. It's beneficial for those suffering from ulcers and gastric ulcers, and effective in toning up and increasing stomach functions. And this is anterior umbellata. So from anterior umbellata, very quickly, thank you very much. I can see that you can hear me. I can go quickly to Colocytis citrullus. Colocytis citrullus is possibly known as bitter apple. I think the Yorubas call it bara. Okay, it helps with arthritis and joint pains. It's effective in menstrual pain disorder. It serves as an effective and powerful laxative. So usually I tell people, Rida is not made for you to be going to the toilet. It's controlled. If you want to go to the toilet, just increase the dosage a bit. You have inside of it Colocytis citrullus and a few other of the herbs that actually are very good laxatives. So it's also very good for getting rid of tumors. Somebody was asking yesterday, will Rida help me with fibroid? Yes, it can help you with fibroid because it's used. Colocytis citrullus is good for getting rid of tumors in the gastrointestinal tract or stomach. It's effective in the treatment of blood disorders such as leukemia. It's a strong purgative used in treatment of intestinal problems, e.g. constipation. So you have all of this with Colocytis citrullus. Not only that, it's used to maintain a healthy urinary tract and stimulates the kidney. It's powerful in bringing the relief from poisoning resulting from scorpion or snake bites. It serves as a blood purifier. Of course, that's basically antioxidant. It stimulates the liver and helps with effective secretion of bile. Helps in scraping and removal of warts and corns of the skin. It helps in worm infestation, jaundice, abdominal disorders, and edema. Okay, so this is Colocytis citrullus. That's not all. You have Varia chamae, also known as bush banana. This helps with gonorrhea and bronchitis. It's effective in treating malaria and fever. It's a strong antibiotic, antidiabetic, antiviral, antifungal, antioxidant properties. It serves as a cheap chemotherapeutic agent. So this is, for people that are dealing with cancer, this is the element that is that is chemotherapeutic. Useful in managing childbirth pains. I've seen somebody who has used this for this. So it's useful for that in managing those childbirth pains. It treats sore throat, abdominal pains, and hemorrhoids, and it speeds up the healing of wounds and sores. So these are some of the things you find with Uvaria chamae. Uvaria chamae is one of the components. It's called blue banana. It's also used for treating dysentery and diarrhea. It used to combat kidney and liver infections, prevents miscarriage. And these are things you can get on Google yourself. You can do your search and find a plethora, of things that these have been used for in times past. These are the constituent elements. Like I said, there are two paradigms. There's the paradigm of the herbal constituents, and then there's the paradigm of antioxidants, which I will describe in detail as well as soon as I'm done with the herbal elements. I'm thinking that this video audio should not last for more than 1 hour. So in the next few minutes, I will be wrapping up. We'll take it as far as it can go, and then we'll continue from there the next time. Hopefully we can go far, and then we don't need to do too much talking after, but these are the things that these are used for. And then you have Congolico pilosa, epipene, squirrel granules. It's been proven to be effective in treating diabetes. It also has strong antibacterial agents who can be used for staphylococcus, gonorrhea, and Pseudomonas aeruginosa and so on. It's effective in terms of cough. Yes, I'm sure there are plenty of testimonies on cough. It's a powerful antioxidant. It's used for treatment of spasms. Somebody's currently using it to treat somebody who has a few epileptic fits. We're trying to see how that plays out. It serves as an aphrodisiac, a demonstrates an astringent agent. So this is also good for sexuality. And of course, it's good for male sexuality and potency as well. And then, of course, it's used in treatment of heart and vascular diseases, shows strong anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial activities, helps in treating leukemia. And that's not all. We still have Senna alata. Senna alata is quite popular. The flowers, leaves, stem, roots, possess medicinal properties that can be used effectively for treatment of constipation and part treatment for hemorrhoids. So pile. If you've seen plenty of people use Rida for pile, it works very well for pile. It's an antimicrobial plant that can be used in treating sexually transmitted diseases. It's an anti-inflammatory herb that is, counteracts inflammation and disease body parts. A major example is used to treat goiter. Okay, Senna alata is also used as benefits for people that have allergies, skin and respiratory diseases such as asthma. We already have testimonies from people with asthma, even children, and it has reduced their going to the hospital. It has reduced the normal medication that they normally take to take care of their challenges. The analgesic action of cassia alata is one of the reasons why practitioners of herbal medicine utilize it in the management of lumbago, arthritis, and rheumatism. It's also very strong as an analgesic. And then, of course, the common name ringworm shrub suggests that one of the applications of this plant, fresh leaves are rubbed on ringworm sites in the skin to treat ringworm conditions. So this gives you an idea of the kind of things we find in the constituent elements. Okay, what it does constituents, right? Insomnia. Oh, how can I miss insomnia? Many people use this to sleep well and enjoy their sleep. So Rida is good for that because of this constituent element that it has. Fungal infection. So Rida can be taken in orally. It can also be applied topically because of all the key elements you can find that it has. It has antibacterial, antiemetic agents, active in expelling parasitic worms, and other internal parasites of the body. Now, this is the herbal elements, the ingredients paradigm. The next paradigm I want to share with you is the antioxidant paradigm. And I'd like you to really pay good attention here because this is where, it's busting the charts. Now, the body system is made up of, the body comes from chemicals. And if you see the diagram in front of you, you'll see there's a chemical level, whereas human beings, we are basically just carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphate. So we're made up of chemicals. These chemicals combine together to form, cells. So these cells, when you have a number of cells, bundled together. So the atoms make up the molecules, The molecules make up the atoms, or the atoms make up the molecules make up the cells, and the cells make up the tissues, and the tissues make up the organ at the organ level, and the organs make up the systems. So you have the digestive system, you have the respiratory system, you have you have the various eight systems of the body, and then for the systems, you have the organism. Now, conventional medicine has where it plays. Conventional medicine plays at the level of the organ system, and the organism. Okay. I don't know if I am still with you or if you are still with me. I think it's a place to pause to find out if you're hearing me. Okay. I think you're hearing me. I can confirm you're hearing me. So I'll progress. Conventional intervention drugs operate at the level of the organ system, and the organism. You can see the diagram, you can see where the intervention drugs, antihypertensives, and the antidiabetics, you can see where they work. Now, you can see where Rida works. Rida works at the cellular, tissue, and organ levels. Since every organ system is invariably made up of cells, and Rida impacts the cell, Rida will help the body overcome any illness, disease that it may experience, particularly if it falls under what taking care of oxidative stress and the resultant effects of it can deal with. Now, you really cannot argue with, I once was blind, but now I see. I don't know the person who healed me. What I know was I was blind and now I see. Now, science is trying to make sense of what we already all know and have by experience to say, why is one drink able to touch somebody who is diabetic, able to crash somebody's high blood pressure numbers, able to help somebody who is in severe pain, able to ensure somebody can begin to see their monthly period, able to ensure somebody who has not had been able to have sex for a long time now wakes up in Zahaza room. How is one product able to do that? And they said the concept of antioxidants and the how this uh, things deal, how these antioxidants deal, is that they operate at cellular level. And once they operate well at cellular level, you can imagine the myriads of things that they will take care of. Now, this is not my word. Don't take my word for it. You can see this handsome man on your screen, and I hope you can see a handsome man on your screen who did research. His name is Robert Fog Foggart, a pharmacologist in New York, who studied the effect of drugs on blood vessels and how they often achieved contradictory results. The evidence accumulated over the last 25 years suggests that defective control of the NO levels causes pathologies such as hypertension, cardiovascular functions, neurodegeneration, arthritis, asthma, and septic shock. So this man was able to discover that in the last 25 years, the defective control of the nitric oxide levels, that's what NO is, of the nitric oxide levels that really degenerates into this problem. So essentially saying at the root of these challenges is antioxidant activity, is the fact that some cellular damage has happened by the effect of radical oxygen species, and not maintaining the NO levels is what has caused some of these challenges. Now, it wasn't alone. There were a number of doctors who came to this discovery. You had Robert Foggart, you have Louis Ignaro, and you have Farid Murad, who also happens to be a medical doctor. And in their joint findings, they were able to discover what we all discovered about that. So when I say nitric oxide levels, when I say antioxidants, I'm talking about the same thing. I'm just showing you nitric oxide is one of the ways in which you can measure the antioxidant activities. So increased oxygen and nutrient-rich blood flow to all the body cells results in a multitude of improved health and anti-aging benefits. So once we can increase the oxygen and the nutrient-rich blood flow, and we can return the anions, the radical species, and make the oxygens more balanced and increase them and make them richer, a number of benefits begin to show almost immediately. So once the nitric oxide booster, you have increased energy and production, it reverses atherosclerosis, it lowers blood pressure and LDL, it manages diabetes by regulating insulin, it reverses kidney disease failure, it reverses periodontal disease, it boosts exercise performance and endurance, anti-aging effects on eye, skin, people begin to look fresher, finer, better, it enhances their memory and cognitive skills, it reduces skeletal and muscle pains. All the things we are witnessing with Rida, essentially, are the things you find when the nitric oxide levels are boosted. Okay. So once that happens, I've facts about nitric oxide. The benefits of nitric oxide you need to know: improves oxygen delivery, expands blood vessels, improves viral circulation, lowers risk of plaque accumulation, helps to regulate blood pressure, improves erectile dysfunction, raises the effectiveness of your workouts, makes you able to be energetic and energized, prevents cognitive decline, your memory works better, you're sharper, more brilliant, more in touch with what's going on. It's amazing. It's really amazing. This is what it does. And of course, it's antioxidants. Same things: maintain healthy vision, reduce obesity, improve your nervous system functioning, protects your liver, supports your immune system, and improves your power of your body, maintains good dental health, have anti-aging effects, supports your kidney function, improves reproductive function. All of these are things that antioxidants do. Now, based on this, we can safely conclude a variety of things that we should expect with Rida, because Rida's base of activity is: one, somebody is putting their stuff off mute. Please put it on mute. Edward Malomo, please put it on mute. I can see somebody is speaking there. Let's put it on mute so that we do not interfere. I can see one techno that's not on mute. Okay, please let's be on mute so that we don't need to look for you. Okay. So what are the basis of which Rida operates? The basis of Rida's functionality are along the lines of: it donates energy from outside the body to augment local production in a sustainable manner. Rida demonstrates extensive antioxidant activity. Rida creates health enhancing synergistic effects. Rida reduces irritations in the system. So these are the activity areas of Rida, and on the consequence of these activities, there are things that is expected to do. I'm going to close on this slide, and then we're going to do more of this. I'm going to continue from here when we'll have the next presentation. I'm thinking we can do something on Friday. I'll wait for your comments and chats about that to know. But first of all, is based on preclinical testing. As we speak today, a number of white rats have been tested. We've gotten some very interesting research results from the molecular biology and medical health department of LAUTECH. There's a group we're working with there. There's a partnership and an MOU between those two parties, where they help us do research to identify neural behavior, effects on blood sugar, effects for metabolism, and basically analyze for toxicity, and basically continue to do a variety of synthetic products. Based on these results and from the donation and antioxidant effects, what I'm about to share with you are a number of things that the product is potentially viable to do. Now, this is further supported by testimonies. So when I'm sharing the next time, I'm going to be sharing with you what is expected to happen. I'm going to be sharing with you what has already happened in people's testimonies and why this product is so amazing and is doing these phenomenal things. These herbs have been researched for years. The antioxidant activities have been discovered in this research, and the things that are anticipated that it will do, we're already seeing it match with reality. And you also see that we can't even draw a line at where all of this will end, because there are things we will discover as we continue to progress as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this presentation. I've been presenting now for the last 53 or thereabout minutes, and I would like us to have an opportunity for question and answers, and possibly the opportunity to hear somebody else's voice. So I'd like to thank everybody for listening tonight. I'm going to open the chat window for us to be able to, what is the most remarkable thing that stood out for you tonight? What exactly are you seeing? I tell people, while you're putting your thoughts together, let me say this again. I can't say this enough. We are going to be the reason why somebody who will have had cancer will not have cancer. Why? Because we put a bottle of Rida in their hands, and they've been taking it every day for the last 10 years. Their colleagues, their age mates, their friends who live the same lifestyle and eat the same things have cancer, but they are exempt because they got to hear about this product on time. We're going to be the reason why people will grow old, and instead of having arthritis and having pains in their joints, will be bouncing around the world gallivanting where their friends are bedridden and don't have much to do. This is the product that will make people have beautiful marriages, have exciting homes, husband and wife will stick together, because even after they are 50, 60, 65, when their mates are complaining that nothing is happening again in the bedroom and in the other room, they will still be firing from all cylinders and having a good time. This will be the reason why someone, who did not have a child, we already have a testimony of somebody who had been waiting for 6 years. We have a testimony of somebody who has been waiting for 9 years. We have a testimony of someone who has waiting for 10 years, who have gotten pregnant in the last 4 months. This is very early days, ladies and gentlemen. This will be the reason why thousands of babies that they had given up on suddenly come into the earth, because somebody's systems has been cleansed, somebody has been detoxified, and amazing things are happening. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a course we can drive. The beautiful thing with Green Monday is, as we push this course forward, as we give bottles, shared products, share with people and give out to them, we continue to hear the testimonies that encourage us. And because this is a $140 billion industry, as wealth is being created, as the product is moving, every one of us who have plugged ourselves into the pathway of ensuring that this product can go far and wide will become multimillionaires. We will have financial freedom. We will sit down on our laptop in years to come, refresh, and see income rolling in by virtue of teams we have built. We're going to travel around the world, not going to do nanny for family members in America or in UK. We're going to travel around the world in luxury, in lifestyle. We're going to attempt things. We're going to scuba dive. We're going to skydive. We're going to have amazing times doing phenomenal things on the basis of this course. And while we drive this course forward and onward, we're going to make phenomenal income, but lives will not remain the same again. So I'd like us to put down in that chat window, what is the biggest thing for you tonight as we bring this to a close. I'm going to give 2 or 3 people an opportunity to share with us vocally. If you are interested in sharing those vocally, type it in the chat window as well, and I will give you permission if I see your response quickly. Okay, but let's use the chat window. Let's get the conversation started. And then we can know who I would extend the opportunity to speak with us at what time. Until I give you the speaker, please, let's remain mute and use the chat window. So I can see what James Osu has said here. He said, I'm most impressed that the claims and the efficacy of the Rida can be backed up by scientific proof and evidence. Yes, it's not spurious nonsense. It's actually something that has scientific explanations around it. Many of us grew up conventionally with one drug, one ailment, one paracetamol, one ailment. Unknown to us, what was done was that when the herbal decoctions were found, what the West did, or what you call pharmacy did, was identify the chemicals, the phytochemicals responsible, and then went to the laboratory to mass produce them. Okay, so it's all from the same source. It's just finding chemical ways to make natural things. But today, thank God for what is happening in Africa. We don't value what we have. I tell people oil was a nuisance until value was discovered. Oil was a pollutant until value was discovered. The same way today, the next oil and the next gold in Africa is not valued around the world, but we are already seeing the claims and the testimonies that are possible from these natural, rich things we call weeds that are strong antioxidants. And these differences can really, really, really be the reason why we become, we become amazing and full of potentials, because herbs from here are doing marvelous things, and marvelous natural products via the auspices of Green Monday is bringing into the world. Adekunle says antioxidants operate at the cellular level. I'm impressed. Yes, that's the beauty of antioxidants. It operates at a level where it is amazing. Okay, it says hepatitis will be a thing of the past with Rida in a family life. Amen to that. Okay, I can see Pastor Larry says, many thanks here. My very excited about Rida. Africa is arriving, and for me, it is great. This is time for us to save the world. Yes, it's our turn. It's our turn. It's our time. It's a beautiful time to be alive. So, very good tonight. Before I draw down the curtains, I want to hear my popular voices. Dr. I hope you are there. Don't mind me. I always like to hear your voice. It's always good to have you on the podium. So I'm going to unmute Dr. Aino and allow you to speak for a few minutes. Your voice. Doctor, I know.
Yes.
Yes, your voice is live.
Okay. So I missed that. I actually stepped. Sorry, I missed what you said.
Well, I said, we're done. The floor is yours. I'd like you to share a few words. We're talking about
Okay.
Rida. I know you have a testimony group that has lots of testimonies. You can just
Yeah.
maybe share a few thoughts with us for a minute or
Yeah.
two, just to say, okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for this product training. I think it's very important. I think that it's very good that pre-clinical tests are being done. I know that we're still in early days. I know that we will get to the place of clinical trials because I believe that is what would get a lot more of our colleagues on board. I know that this morning I spent about almost an hour presenting to a neurologist and I shared a lot of this with him. And the good thing is that he's willing to try the product.
Yes,
He's
sir.
actually not my team. In my team, I just helped somebody to present to him. And so the testimonies or feedbacks, they're very, very important. And I'd like to encourage everybody to report back. If you have a feedback, if you have a testimony, drop them in that group because it's really going to help us going forward. These are really early days, and with so many coming in, I'm sure there's going to get to a time we can compile them, compartmentalize them, and maybe even look at them in more detail. So that is going to really help going forward. So thank you very much, and I look forward to more and hearing more and more feedbacks and testimonies from Rida. In fact, I have a testimony, a cousin of mine who has been using, initially she was using Rida and she said it's not doing anything to her. But today, this evening, she came to say, well, it is doing something to her, that she felt it wasn't regulating her bowels the way she wanted, and it's doing that, and even it's helping her with weight loss. So yeah, she's happy to say she's going to now pay me for the bottle she took from me because so,
Very good. Mhm.
thank you very much, and
Thank you very
good
much,
night.
Doctor, for me. Thank you very much. Well done. I think we'll listen to one more doctor tonight, and then we'll call it a night. We've already done 1 hour. Doctor, I think I saw Dr. Jerome. Let me see if I can give you voice. I don't know what's happening to my mouse. Dr. Jerome, you have voice. Can we hear you?
Okay,
Yep, I can hear you. I hand over
thank
to
you
you.
for this. These products, okay, can you hear me, sir?
I can
Hello?
hear you.
Okay, so thank you for this opportunity of us being able to participate in distributorship of Reader. Really, it's something that's been very amazing to me. Initially, I've been having problem in talking to some of my colleagues about the products because they want more evidence, they want facts, they want more detailing about what the product can do and what the product cannot do, the side effects and all that. But I spoke with one of his senior colleague was it a few days ago. She's actually with the military. She's a lieutenant colonel. She's in the Nigerian military, this thing. So she told me to give her a bottle that she wants to try it. After I sent her some facts, some of these things you presented tonight. I told her some of those things on phone. She didn't want to agree with me that it can be that efficacious. So I sent her some of these things. She went through herself. She actually googled it. The one that is actually making her to feel so excited about it is what she found out about Senna Alata. And I really think that's one of the most researched parts of this component that people are really aware of. So when she saw those things about Senna Alata, I sent her a bottle today. So I'm very sure she's going to come to next meeting probably on Sunday. So we need to take this product education important, because people will want to know what we know about the product, and they want to us to lay claim on if this thing works or not. But it's an antioxidant, just like you rightly said, with other things it can do and all those components. So I'm very certain when I give it to people that I know it works, and I know they will come back because it has worked. Thank you, CM.
Thank you, Dr. Dira. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so tonight, that's where we draw the curtains. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of this.